All right, hold on. You started.
Get mine started.
All right, Shalom. We want to give all the praises and honor to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushua.
Ba'ashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Also, sincere shalom to the hopeful elect, the brothers laboring. And Spirit is going this direction. Me and the brother here, we was going to go into another video, but he heard me doing another video, so we decided to touch on this. And it's going to be titled Understanding Elders and Brethren. Okay. Now, before we get started, I just was going into the fact that I left out in the other video that, you got different men of different circumstances. Okay. Him being a younger brother, me being an older brother, although we both are young in the faith, but I'm young, I'm older, elderly and more experienced than him in certain things. Him actually being my son. Right. By the way, so me and him are not going to, in the scriptures, deal with how a man's supposed to deal with his sons, okay, his children, okay. So me and him is not going to go and hang out, okay. That's just not going to happen. I want to say it before I get to the point, when the elders and apostles come down, and they're my elders, because I'm not an elder of Great Millstone, okay. But by them being my elders and apostles, because, I've been around, I've been in the world and I understand things. So I can talk with elders on a different level than some younger brothers can because of worldly things. We talk about, we might talk about old rap, old music, old things of the world, okay? But it still revolves around the spirit. And there's a difference, okay, between the elderly status and the brethren, okay?
That's right.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, this is Job 12:12. With ancient is wisdom, and you had to question what is ancient. Ancient is something that's basically old, and it says in length of days of understanding. So that's why it goes two ways, because you have the spiritual spirit. It's pretty much both ways, because you got the worldly aspect and you got the spiritual aspect. You got like a worldly person, let's say older man, like say in his 60s, and we're talking. He could teach me some things that I wasn't even there to be born with, or I may have been too young to understand. But then you're in the truth, and let's say you're new to the camp. Well, you gotta be taught by someone that's more wiser than you. Wisdom comes in different shades, as they say. It don't always have to be about age. It could also be about the time you put into the work, but it also can tie to with your age. Because how else can you even have, let's give an example. The apostles, they had time on the earth and in the truth.
That was a good point. I was going to say that.
Right, because you don't see no young man like my age as an apostle. You won't see that. You won't even see an elder in that age. So it comes in different shades, no matter how you think about it. Age and wisdom are both the same, but can vary in different ways.
Good point. Hey, I couldn't say it better myself. Okay, the Apostle Tahar been in this truth since he was 24. Okay, so being in the truth since 24. And I'll say this, you got Nate of IUIC who's been in the truth as a young man. I don't reference him as my elder, but I still reference him as a form of an elder. They know him. The apostles of Great Millstone know these guys. Okay. So they call themselves bishops and elders or whatever, but they've been around. Okay. On the earth and somewhat in the truth. They was in the One West. Now, are they teaching righteously? No. Okay? No. So when I rebuke them on certain levels, it doesn't have anything to be doing. It doesn't have anything to do personally. It has to do spiritually. You're going off on doctrine. That's why I go and do videos on these guys, Yohana and all them. They're older than me in age, but guess what? They know the truth longer than I have. But guess what? I'm not rebuking them on personal matters. I'm rebuking them on spiritual matters. There's a difference. Okay? And this is the same thing as I said in the other video. The apostles, they set up elder men in camps. And remember, those are titles. Okay? I'm not worthy of double honors because I'm not an elder of Great Millstone. Okay? I may be an elder man of the camp, but I'm not an elder. Okay? So that has to be understood. Okay? There's a separation and differentiation on different levels. You elders, like the brother said, you got the elders in the world. Who this brother is sharper than the elder in the world, okay, according to the scriptures. But an elder in the world that's been around, that's been walking the earth, he's not going to be sharper than when it comes to worldly aspects, which that doesn't matter. The only thing matters is this truth. So if that man comes into the truth and he can help build him up as an elder, okay? I mean, as a younger man, build him up, and as an older man, he can help feed him. So you feed each other.
Right. Because just because you are in the truth, and of course, being in this truth, you are wiser than men physically. Well, spiritually. I won't say physically, fleshly, because you haven't been on the earth longer. But that doesn't mean just because you know this truth doesn't mean that gives you the right to actually disrespect the older man, because he's still technically, like I say, it crosses both ways. But technically, in this fleshly world, there is still a form of respect that has to be given.
And why? And I'm gonna tell you why. Because that older man may have a son of a young man of the elect, and the scripture says to honor your father and your mother. That's right. So that means, as a young man or any man, you shouldn't be going around just cursing out so-called elderly people, man. Because guess what? You're supposed to be setting an sign, an example of the works of the Lord.
I got a scripture for that.
So if you are disrespecting an elderly man in the world, now he comes up to the truth camp and he gonna get it. But you got to remember, you just can't be cursing out anybody, because guess what? You're setting an example because you don't want nobody cursing out your father or your mother. Or anybody in the truth don't want nobody cursing out their mother or their father, man.
Or even better yet, what would you? Of course, the younger generation is already doing it, but would you want the younger generation cussing you out? Would you want your own son or daughter cussing you out?
Which is against the law,
right? Because believe it or not, your children look up to you more than anything else. You're that figure that crosses that path. So when you do that, when you cussing out another elderly person, they gonna think they could do the same thing, even if it's you. Yep. It's gonna come back the same way.
Let me read the scripture real quick. Let the elders ruling well, Salakia. Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honors. This is not talking about elders of the world. We're talking about elders as your teachers. Okay, right. They're worthy of double honor. Not an old man in the street. He's not worthy of double honors. You're not even really honoring him to that much of effect. You're showing him a form of respect, but you don't double honor as an elder in the streets in the world, because what? They're dumb. They're idiots. Let me just say that they're ignorant because they don't know. Okay, it goes on to say, and this is what clears it up. It says, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine. That they is the men of Great Millstone, man. They the ones that was worthy of double honors, man. Not no goddamn old nigga in the street, man.
That's right.
But they're still, if you're going to walk as a man of the Lord, they say, according to in the world, you get a woman that treats her father good, then guess what? She's going to treat you good. That's the same thing. People who were disrespectful to their elders in the world, guess what? They're going to be disrespectful to their elders in the truth, man. That's just how it goes. If they don't spiritually get that damn demon off of them, man.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
This is Psalms 111:10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Of course, that's the basic thing that everybody should know. So you had to question, what exactly do I have to do, or what exactly is fearing the Lord? Because of course, doing the truth, going out, doing videos, that's one part. But also carrying yourself as one of the prophets at even showing the mannerism as a prophet, even as being harmless as a dove. That's one of it. And he says here, a good understanding have all they that do his commandments. And showing that even why that's why we bring out this video, because some brothers may have it confused. But showing a form of respect to an elder in the fleshy world is not counted as the same thing as giving double honors to him. Having respect is showing that, hey, I'm still technically young in this fleshly world, so hey, I still have a lot to learn, even towards the truth. As hell, even for me, I know, of course, I know more than a fleshly elderly person, but I must still show that respect, because there's things I may not even know or think about that he could actually help me on. Oh, it could be something detrimental that he could have helped me on, because I may not know. So it's all a learning lesson, because there's a reason why we're not all the same age. There's a reason why there's ages above us or below us, for a reason, because you have the ages below us where they can learn from us, but then you have the ages above us where we can learn from them, and that's the wisdom. Wisdom comes from the top and it comes on down, and then it goes on even further. How else are we supposed to have the wisdom if we didn't learn from the people that's older than us? Now, that's not to say that we're just supposed to follow everything that elders say. No, but we're not supposed to actually show any. We're not supposed to show that a lot of disrespect, or any type of disrespect for that matter, unless he's doing something wicked, being a scoffer.
Now you're talking about elders of the world, by the way.
Yeah. We're talking about elders of the world.
Yeah, the elders in the truth, you're supposed to follow what they say according to the doctrine, man.
Right. Truth. But it's funny because it still ties into it, because how else would you know the truth without actually going through the world first? The apostles of the apostles of GMS, they didn't just start off being born in the truth. They started off in the world, and they knew things of the world. So when they came into the truth, they knew exactly what to do. But they may not know exactly, but they still learned. And how they had men over them.
See, the Lord is not an author of confusion. Mm-hmm. Okay, the Lord is not an author of confusion. You know, where He will give it to this man to start it off, and then you know what? Bump this apostle out the way. I'm gonna give everything to this man. No, bump that apostle. Bump that guy out the way. You know what? I'm gonna give it to this man. The Lord don't work like that, man. Mm-hmm. Other than that, the Lord would have sent 4 or 5 sons, man. Yeah. It would have been Yahushua and somebody else, and he'd have been just spreading the truth all through all, you know, which was Yahushua, and then you had the apostles and prophets. It was always an order. Mm-hmm. This thing was always set up about an order. So you guys that went off and started doing your own thing, where's your order? Now you have to have a ranking system. Yeah. And we always see that when these orders are set up, that either their fruit don't grow, they stay where they're at, and the doctrine starts fluctuating, and then the new revelations start coming about, mm-hmm. and you have all these different corruptions. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I got another scripture right here. This is James 3:17. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure. And what is that wisdom? Number one, that wisdom comes from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, number one. But he actually he gives that wisdom to men that's been on this world longer, so they can experience things to help us out. Whether that's according to the earth or to the spirit, to spiritualness. Which of course spiritualness is more important, but it all ties together no matter what.
Well, when you say that, mm-hmm. honestly, it's from, and you're on point, because when you look at Apostle Tahar and the things that he experienced, mm-hmm. there's not many other brothers that experienced what he experienced, right?
Right.
Not many other men who have experienced what he's experienced. In the truth. Now, granted, High Priest Ariyah, he went off, mm-hmm. but that was someone Apostle Tahar looked up to, okay? And he still shows him respect even as an elder of the world. Yeah. Okay? Even though he went off and And I'm not saying it because they're saying it, because this truth was so great, and a lot, the 12 tribe sign all was set up and came through him. You know, I believe personally that he's going to get back in his right mind. Mm-hmm. I believe that he's still a man of the Lord. And again, I'm not saying it because the apostles say it. I mean, I'm saying it primarily because I feel it in the spirit. I looked at his old tapes and his old record, you know, the teachings. Okay, but Apostle Tahar took it and grew upon it. I mean, he corrected a lot of the stuff, but the bottom line is that was still an elder of the world, man. Okay, so should we start cursing him out? No, man. No. You got to set an example. Look, just because I see an old bottle, if I'm trying to teach him and I'm cursing at him, it's not because I just want to be disrespectful. It's because you spare not. The scripture says what? Cry aloud, spare not. You're not sparing his feelings for this truth. Mm-hmm. Okay? So it doesn't matter who it is. You don't spare their feelings when it comes to the truth. And guys just get a little bit too emotional, man. Mm-hmm. You know?
Or because some brothers that come into the truth, not fully understanding how wisdom actually works. So they see the apostles do something, they automatically think they could do the same thing.
It doesn't work that way. Mm-hmm. There's some things that apostles tell a brother not to do, but and then another brother say, yeah, I could do that, but that don't mean you can do that.
Exactly.
It doesn't work for you. It might work for that brother, but it doesn't work for you. That's why you have heads and camps and men who've been through things to help sort those things out. Because the apostles can't see everything that's hidden in plain sight. That's where it's your responsibility as a leader. And you might not even be a leader. You might be another brother that's been through some things or been through situations that can still help another brother. Mm-hmm. It's just all about a brotherhood, man.
That's right.
You know, those titles that Jake is trying to, you know, I'm not saying brothers is going around saying they want to be elders. Good. You know, it's just a correction because it's a balance.
Right.
Because when you start throwing elder out there, then everybody that's been doing it so where do you draw the line? Who's an elder and who isn't?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So let the Lord exalt you. Don't exalt yourself to be something that you're not.
Right.
Okay? You read the last one and we close up.
All right. Then it says, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated. Because when you give wisdom, it's a peaceable thing because you're giving a reasonable way of them to think better. It's not to make them just say, "Oh, I know more than you, so you should just listen." Which, of course, naturally you should, but it's for a reason. That reason is also to help you better. So it says full of mercy and good fruits, which also can actually go into pretty much going to so like helping you be. I already said be a better person, but be able to help other brothers inside the truth because some different brothers have different problems. So it's also good for somebody that's older than you to actually help with those different problems. That way, if he give you a suggestion, oh, I can think I with that suggestion you gave me, I can help another brother, even if it's a different type of way. It can be something similar.
And the scriptures also say that not all. That don't mean that every single time, not all great men are wise. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah, it's a balance. That's all it is. It's a balance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just a balance. It's just, you know, the whole point of this video is be humble, keep the balance, and like the apostle said, I'm gonna go into again. This is why I would connect on a level of elders and even talk to some, you know, the apostles that I've met. You know, talking to them about things in the world and things I've known and been around, you know, and some brothers may not be able to, you know, there's always a way of communication because we all dwell together, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, like the apostle said, you know, the older brothers hanging out with younger brothers that just coming in and all that, you know. I mean, there's certain circumstances that does work for that. But you know, the Lord set up certain avenues, you know, for brothers who have things in common on different levels so you can get together. Basically, you got to pray. You got to pray for the understanding, man. It doesn't exactly mean, I can't hang with this. You know, I mean, you can do that, but it's on certain levels and certain occasions that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, just stay spiritual, stay humble, and then everything will work itself out.
Right.
That's all. It'll work itself out.
Being humble is the key.
My bottom line is, I'm not an elder. I'm not an elder of Great Millstone, you know. But I'm a leader, captain, if you want to call it, elder of the camp, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of respect, man.
That's
and
right.
it also, as a leader and an older brother or whatever, you're supposed to still love the younger brothers, man.
Right.
You know, you don't be a tyrant and like hell with you, and you're gonna do what I say, and tyrannical shit. You know, just be loving to one another. Look, man, the scripture says that the beauty of a young man is his strength.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not gonna try to do stuff that other brothers do. Younger brothers do. I'm not. Hey, man, that's where your lot is. Mm-hmm. I stay where I stay. Yeah, everybody stays where they stay and fulfill your lot.
That's right. We're technically a military, but we're a loving military. We're not like Esau's military, where it's just straight on just one thing. No, we had different avenues. Different brothers have different things, and we may get on a brother for certain things, but it's to help him make better. But it's not to say that we're just going to completely ignore him afterwards. No, we're going to show that brother love and compassion, no matter what.
And that's pretty much it, man. You know, we want to say shalom.
Shalom.